In yesterday's session, we complete all these setups and we are creating the purchase expense report from Fusion user. And at the time of creation, it is showing who is the assignee, whom it has to route. As per our configuration, that should be routed to Fusion 1 user, right? Means Fusion 1 is supervisor for Fusion employee. So this is what we can see. Once you submit that expense report, the notification, the approval notification should go to Fusion 1, but that is not happening. Okay, that is the current issue we have. The reason for that is I just spoke to the people who are just working on this support from Oracle. So the information which I got is we have to bounce SOA server for finance domain. This is a just known issue. That's what they are saying. So if this is the case, we have to bounce the SOA server for SOA server for financials domain. If you bounce that server, this whatever it's getting stuck, that will be working. That's what the suggestion they given. For that we have to raise SR, but we don't have any privileges to raise SR to Oracle. So that is the reason we cannot do anything. And anyway, I'll show you the process, whatever it may be the case. What I did is before before taking the Fusion Expense class and all, I tested in the same environment by creating the different users. That happened in the I'm sorry, I think last week. Last week I tested in the same environment. I have a user I created as a KRAW user. This is a user I created as employee, and for this KRAW user I created manager supervisor as a KRAW 2 TWOO2. This is how I created. I created this user, and for that user I assigned KRAW2 as a manager. Okay, and I created rule. I tested in the last week, so it was working. So based on that confirmation only, I took initiative to show you this Fusion Expense in this environment. Okay, that is only the confirmation. So but unfortunately, like every weekly once or twice, Oracle will be they'll be doing some maintenance activity for this instance. For that reason, they will down the instance, they'll be up the instance. This is how they'll be doing. In the process of uh, they'll they'll make it down and they'll make it up. In this process, somewhere some synchronization and some kind of SOA related BPM related stuff is missing. That is the reason it's not happening. So in the last week when I did this configuration, when I was testing, it was working fine. But even the current issue is not getting applicable for existing configuration. Okay, now with this user it is working. I'm going to show you that how to create the expense report, how to submit for approval, how it goes to the supervisor, then how that can be ready for payment, how to process that, finally how to get that information into payables as a payment request, how to make the payment. This will I'll take you through with this user. Okay, so I'll just take you through this. Before that, I'll show you the what rule I defined. Same rule what we defined yesterday, same rule I defined the last week. So same, I'll show you now the same environment. But one point here to make a note, the instance, okay, the environment which I am using and you are using totally different. You try in that environment, it may work. Okay, but I am not sure. I never tested in that environment, which environment I given for your practice. You try in that environment, hope it will work. But this is same setups and all. I'm going to show you that. So when you talk about this approval groups for financials. Okay, before that I'll show you that what user I created. Okay, and who is the supervisor for that user. Manage users. Okay, the last week it was working, I tested, but now there is again problem with this SOA server. KRAW user, this is what I created, and here I just selected KRAW2 as a supervisor manager for this KRAW. Now what we'll do is we'll create the expense report from KRAW user. The notification will go to the KRAW2 user. Okay, this is what we are going to test. And before that, I'll show you that rule which we created. This is the rule we created yesterday, right? We given the name as Fusion. One is one we given, and we selected supervisory as required and the number of levels 1. And if you click on starting participant, these are the parameters we given: get manager, supervisory, task dot creator, and in case of top participant, we given Fusion 1. Okay. In the same way, I created this one the last week. Same, see, one is 1 and supervisory required and the number of levels 1 and get manager and supervisory task dot creator. Here supervisor is KRAW2. The same supervisor also I given the top participant. Don't think if whatever the top participant I'll give, it goes to the notification goes to the top participant. Always it will goes to the user manager. Okay, the employee manager it goes. But here employee manager and the top participant also I given same. Here the same I given. There is no change. When you see these two rules, no change. This I created in the last week, and the fusion rule I created yesterday. That's all. That is the difference. Because of that difference, in between the last week and till date, till yesterday, there were some changes in instance. That is the reason the new rule is not functioning off. The off part is working. We could see in the yesterday session when you create the expense report, it is showing after saving. If you click on the save icon, save option, it is opening and it is showing so and so assignee, so and so reason, the rule name, and the notification will goes to whom, everything it is showing. But finally that is notification not going because there is some issue with the SOA. So for that SOA need to be bounced for financial domain. That we cannot do. If you want to get it done, you have to raise SR to Oracle. Oracle can do on your request, but that we cannot try all those things. For that reason, what I'm going to do is this rule also I just created. So this rule what we created yesterday, I'm going to inactivate, and this rule I'm going to activate. See, this is the one which is given by Oracle. These two are created by us, but of course this I created offline in the last week for testing. Okay, since whatever we created that is not working because of instance issue, I'm going to use it. For existing rules there is no issue, it is working. Existing in the sense what we created 2-3 days back. Okay, done. So I just enabled it. You can see the rule as it is same, no changes in that. Just click on validate. Just make sure that there are no issues with this rule definition. Yep, and save. So because we know, like earlier we were using some different instance in that payables approvals were not working. That is the reason just in this environment before showing in the class I tested. Anyway, now that is useful for us to test this functionality since it's not working now. Okay, now what we'll do is I'll just completely just sign out from here. As we discussed, employee name and supervisor name. I'll just sign out from this current user. Okay, now user and what password I given. Now we'll go and create the expense report. The same process what we have seen in yesterday session, the same. So here under about me, you can go to expenses. I completed same setups. Okay, what are the setups we discussed? Same setups I completed for this user and for this different business unit. This totally different enterprise which was created. So here go to actions, say create expense report. I'll say Fusion. I'll give the name what uh, name you are using. Fusion expense report. Just enable this. This we have gone through that terms and all everything fine, and click on add expense items. And here also the template I created only 2 items for testing. Okay, I'm selecting travel. I'll say $600. Say save and close. Now if you click on save, it will be showing it is going to route to which manager. Means this employee manager, KRAO manager is KRAO 2. The same it will be showing. The same we can see whatever we configured yesterday from that setup also. The next step only it was not working for us, right? So click on saved, so it will show that information. The same this is how our configuration also working yesterday. Okay, same you can see. In our case what happening is with that new user, the notification is not going to that manager, but here in this with this user and all it is working because I created this in the last week. So that got everything synchronized and all, so it started working. Now even there is some issue with that, it is working fine. Now click on submit, say okay, and now this is the expense report, Fusion expense report. Click on expense report. Here pending manager approval, if you click on that again it has to show. Okay, just click on this, it has to show the same. Okay, KRAO 2, the notification is gone, already submitted. See approval list. In our case, it was showing error. Approval list, error message, no, no test. It is displaying. Okay, but here it is showing. So that is the issue. Like it was not triggering in that case. Now here it's fine. The same it is showing. Whatever you can see the same. Done. Now we have to log into the system instance with that new user. The manager name is KRAO 2. So here you can see the notification we created with the $600, the same. This is how it should come basically. Whatever we did set up, in that case it was not triggering. So action required expense report approval for this own expense from KRAO user with the $600. You click on this and submit for just approve it, that's all. Say approve. So in our case, the notification is not triggering. That's it. That is the issue. If you bounce the SOA server for finance domain, that will be working fine. Okay, so done. Now again click on this, or else just you click on cancel. Now you can see the status, it shows ready for payment. Yes, not this one. Our expense report, I'll search from here. See, now what is the status? Ready for payment. Okay, so ready for payment. So now once it is ready for payment, we can interface this information to accounts payable. Okay, and one more point here. Okay, one more point here, since you are testing in this environment, see, if you don't specify location for business unit, okay, you cannot interface this information to payables, because when you are creating the business unit, I'll show you that. Because just I'm talking about this point reason, and this is just people, you guys will be testing this, and when you see the business unit definition, so fusion or anything you can take. Here, if you don't give the location for business unit, this expense report cannot be imported into payables. Okay. Because in the same environment, even I have the same experience. I just asked somebody to create the new environment. They created with the KRAV business unit and all. What he did is, he didn't provide any location. I was testing and I was trying to import that, it was not working. Finally I found that just there is no location, and that is the reason. Even the error related information also you can see. Make sure that your BU has a location, then only this can be imported into payables. Now once expense report is approved by supervisor, we have to submit the program to import that information into payables. So go to schedule processes, schedule new process. So here the program name is, the job name is process. Just type process expense. There will be one job name called as process expense reports and some cash advances. I think that is a name. This is the one. So process expense, just place cursor on that. Expense reimbursements and cash advances. Okay, then say okay and provide parameters. So you may give specific BU, or else you can accept all eligible BUs. The business unit, you can select your own BU. This is a BU in this setup, KRAV Automotives, and expense reimbursements only. We are not processing cash advances. Okay, or else you can accept this all authorized BU in business units. Anything you can take. Now you can submit. Here it will generate output file. There you can see how many invoices are fetched, okay, how many are created, how many payment requests are got generated, everything we can see.
I'm just curious, only one question.
Yep.
The supplier is already created, or will it create now?
No, this process will create as a party, not as a supplier. It will create as a
Okay.
party. This employee system will create as a party.
Oh, all right.
Yep. Done. Now to see the status, you can select this job and just do this and click on output file attachment. Here it will give the information, because in this I think I created a few more expense reports and I submitted for approval for testing in past. Those also may get fetched by system. Let's see. Yep. So it is showing invoices fetched 3, one which we created now and other 2 are which I created in past, I think yesterday, day before. And invoices created equals 3 and payments requests, okay, payment requests are created equals to 3. That means 3 payment requests are got generated against 3 expense reports. Now you can go to payables, invoices, sorry, see here the recent, you can click on recent, you can see those which we created with the $600. This is the one. KRAW user. The supplier it is showing as a KRAW. So basically it's a party actually. It's a party. It's not exactly supplier. So you can click on that expense report which we created just now with the $600. You can see the type as a payment request. This is expense report number. The same number it will take as it is. Okay, it got generated today only, first 18. Okay, the payment terms it is taken by default immediate. This is how just you can see all this information and you can validate it. The description is giving Fusion expense report, right? And you can account it. Okay, for this user also I given the system options level. Okay, employee payables account. Otherwise it will be taken from common options. This is the account for airfare. So this is a process to understand how that what setups need to be done and how the sub-rule rules need to be configured for a supervisory. And other point is how the process works, how to create expense report, how that information can be imported into payables. Okay, these are the points to understand. Or we can just come out from this user. That's all. Okay. That's all about this expense reports concept. and you try in your instance which you are practicing, it should work. Even in this instance also, whatever we did that should work. It may take some time, because again, when Oracle is going to down this instance, when they are going to do the up, once they up the things, whatever the changes are pending, those may get synchronized and it may work. We'll see if it is working. Again, we can see in this environment whatever we did setups, but this is a process. Hope you got the point. Okay, setups and the process, we're able to see that. But of course, setups we did for one user, and process we did with other user, since there is some issue with the SOA related issue. Okay, that's only the point you have to understand. Okay. And
Lakshman, only
yeah,
one question.
please.
How do you inquire the party? If you want to say,
Yeah, you can just
change
come and see here. You can go to that suppliers only. From there, you can see that.
supplier only, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, there we are.
yeah. You can see from there only. Even the same information you can see when you're just searching for invoice also, expense report also. You can see from here and there. If you go to invoices, from invoice workbench also you can see that. Here see supplier or party. I'll go with the Kera user. Party name. Yep. This is a party name. Okay, the moment you submit the expense report, if expense report is generated against that employee, then automatically system will convert as a employee as a party. In case of EBS, what we do, we'll go and enable on checkbox saying that automatically create employee as a supplier. Okay, in financial options. Okay.
Yes, that's right. We used to set up whether we want to
Yeah, I'm
convert it
sorry.
or we don't
In
want.
payable options, I think in payable options
Yes.
we'll do that. In payable options under expense tab, we'll enable it, and we'll be providing other information, and we'll set the.
We don't need that, right?
Yeah,
It's
they are
not
not
that.
required. We are not required. See, if you are creating expense report, definitely it should be converted, right? There is no point where we'll
Yes.
stop and system will create expense report. It's impossible, right? If you are trying to
Yes.
create expense report, that should be converted. And one more, that's how it works. And we have another concept also in the Fusion expense. Just I'll give you some information. What you can do is, see, you can create the cash advance. Okay, you can say you can create the cash advance. Say you can create with say $5,000. Okay, so you can create cash advance in the expense Fusion expense by using the same process. You will create it and you will be submitting for approval. Once that is approved, you will be transferring to payables by running the same program, process expense reimbursement and cash advance. You'll run it, then this information will come to the payables. Then after that, you may create one expense report in Fusion expense, say with the $2,000, and this you will submit for approval, and once it's approved, you will be processing and you will be importing into payables. Once you import into payables, what happens is automatically the settlement takes place. In case of EBS, what we do, we'll just create the prepayment, we'll apply the prepayment on the expense reports also, right? But here that manual process is not applicable, only the settlement which can be done by system. Okay, we may have cash advance with the 5,000. Whenever you create expense report against the same employee, automatically the settlement will takes place. Still you can see this status will become paid, and you can see this cash advance availability as a $3,000. Okay, that functionality also we have. If you want to implement the functionality in the system options level, cash advance option you have to set to yes. then it will allow you to create the cash advances. For that, again, we have approved workflow which need to be configured. Okay, just for information, I'm sharing that. Just you may try on that. Okay. Fine. So that's all about Fusion expenses. And the cash management we'll see a bit later. Now we'll jump into fixed assets. Okay. Let's start with this fixed assets module. The same as EBS, here also the same three key flex fields. We have the same logic and how it works, that remains same. In EBS or Fusion, you can have only one active structure. It can be category or location or asset key. Okay, but when you talk about in Fusion, along with the structure, we have to create the instances. Okay, that means we have to create the three structures: category, location, and asset key. For these three structures, we have to create the three structure instances. Okay, these three structure instances. In Fusion, they given the flexibility. You can go and create a number of structures and number of instances, but finally you can use only one. I don't see any benefit if they are allowing us to create multiple, and finally if they are going to allow us to use only one. Okay, just as a functionality they given, you can create multiple, but you can use only one. When you are setting the system controls, there you can select only one structure. For one instance, only one category, key flex field structure, one location, and one asset key. Okay, but that the same how it works in EBS, in the same way it works. That means these configurations only we can do in the fresh environment. Like, of course, segment values and all we can create, but these setups and all we can do in the very fresh environment. Since this is a vision environment, these setups you can see already created in this environment. You cannot create one more to keep it as active, but anyway, just we'll go through it. So go to implementation project. So implementation projects, select your project. So this task you can use manage fixed assets key flex fields. If you go with this manage system controls, this is one time setup, right? This is a one time setup. It's already completed, right? So since is vision instance with the name called as Vision Corporation, they completed. So they created a category flex field structure name as category, location flex field structure name as location, asset key flex field structure as a asset key. Basically, these are the instances. Hope the structure name also remains same. Starting asset number, everything they given. This is one time setup. We cannot do for our each BU or every country. Even if you are using this instance for multiple countries, this is a one time setup you have to complete. So this is the point. Anyway, just we'll go through how they created and all. Apart from that, there is no option. Even if you go and create, no use, right? So or else we just there may be a few guys who want to know that how those can be created. By considering that, we'll just go and create, no issues, but we cannot use them because that system controls is one time setup already, that instance are selected, but just we'll go and create, for a better understanding. It won't take much time. We'll go and create. So first we have a three flex fields for each, and everything will create the value sets. First we have to create the value sets for category. We'll go and create one major and minor value set, and the same way for location and asset key. Just will go and create it. So simple task we can create when we are doing the setups in the fresh environment. That can be useful, we know that. So go with this task: manage fixed assets flexi field value sets. Okay, first we'll create two segments for category key flex field. For that we'll create two segments. If you want to have two value sets required, so click on create. I'll give the name as something like Fusion major category. You can select as assets, validation type independent, value type say character, subtype say test, length I'll say 30. Save and close. I will create one more value set for minor. Fusion minor category. So since it's a minor, the validation type should be dependent. The minor category will depend on major category, right? So select dependent, and here select character and value subtype, so test. And this minor will depend on which major that you have to give. Maximum length I'm giving 30 characters. Same, no difference when you compare EBS with EBS. So here this minor value set will depend on which major value set. Which value set? That means nothing but major. Let's just search for Fusion major. Fusion major category value set. That's it. The same as EBS, just will complete this setup. Okay. Just let me mark it. We'll complete one by one. Okay, done. For category key flex field, I created two segments. Now we'll create the category key flex field structure, then category key flex field structure instance. Okay, two segments. To create two segments, we require two value sets. Two value sets we created. Now we'll go and create the structure and segments and everything. Just go to this task: manage fixed assets key flex fields. So in EBS, you can use only one structure. You can have only one active, and in Fusion also one. But in EBS, you cannot create multiple. Of course, you can use only one. When you are not able to use more than one, there is no meaning if there is option to create multiple. But here we have option. At least this can be useful for our practice. Think in that way. So here search for flex field called as category. Okay, assets application category flex field. Then go to manage structures, and here search how many structures you have. You can see only one, which is created by Oracle. Nobody created in this environment for practice also, but we'll create for our understanding. Just say create. So I'll give the name as Fusion category flex field. Delimiter, nothing but segment separator, and save up to here. We know, like, we created chart of account structure. Same, you must enter no more than enable structures in application 140 and give this okay. Reason is this is the reason it's already enabled mode. That is the reason it is giving some issue. What we can do is, for temporary purpose, for our testing purpose, we'll disable this one, then it will allow. We discussed one active only you can have, but just for testing we are going to create new, so that is the reason just we are going in this way. I just disable this category flex field which is already in use. Save it, we'll accept. Segment code, I'll say major, sequence 1, prompt same, short prompt also same I'm giving. Display width, go with the same 30 we given, value set level same I'm taking here, and column name segment 1. So same here in EBS also, for category you can create 7 segments, in Fusion also 7. For location also you can create 7 in EBS, here also 7. For asset key there you can create 10 segments, here also 10 segments. You select value set whatever you created. Fusion major category segment value set, major category. The same segment labels we have, we know, like for major segment we'll assign the major segment label. So major category segment label I'm assigning. This is save and close. Create one more. Second segment, display width, let's take the same 30. Column name is segment 2. So Fusion, it's not fetching, let's go and search. These are also value sets, right, which we use in receivables. So that's the reason these are coming here. This is a minor. For minor segment, assign minor segment label. And so save and close. Done. We create a structure and segments. Now we have to create the structure instance also. Click on create. I'll give instance name as Fusion category. This instance we want to create against which structure? Structure name is Fusion category flex field. Just set as these two as required. Just select it as required and click on edit, set as required, then say save and close. Then just we'll add one or two values just for our understanding how values can be added to this. Go to value set. There you can add for major and minor, you can just add one or two values. That's it. Value set name is Fusion Major Category. Go to manage values. Okay, and here you can create values. I'll create, since it's major, I'll say buildings. Major value I'm giving as building. We know no qualifiers means no segment labels in case of category segment values. Then say save and close. Now we'll create the values for minor value set. I'll say office buildings, and this office buildings will depend on which major segment value. Here we have to select buildings. That's it. So this is how we can create a number of values for these value sets which are part of category key flex field. Okay, the same way we'll create the structures for location and asset key also. So simple task, let's go and complete it. So go to manage flex field structures. Here search for say location flex field. Application assets flex field name is location flex field. Say manage structures. Here also 1 second. Okay, fine, let's do it once. Here search, already one is, since it's a vision instance, Oracle already created one as a sample, but it's in enable mode. So what you can do is if you want to create one more, one active one only you can have in the instance, you cannot create more than one active. So I'm going to disable this just for our testing till we go and create our own structure, then we'll go and activate, we'll be using. I'm going to uncheck. But when you are practicing, okay, you have to do that. But if you understand this point, you don't need to practice straight away. You can go from by skipping these steps. That's up to you. Fine, anyway, we'll see that. Okay. Fusion location flex field. Select delimiter. Nothing but segment separator. You can click on save, and you can create the locations. First segment I'll give country. I'm sorry, we didn't create value sets, right? Okay, we didn't create any value sets. We'll go and create the value sets. Okay, we'll create the value sets. One is for country, other one for state, city. Just let's go with the simple. Okay, so create value sets. Before that, let me mark what we did. For category value sets, two value sets we created. For category we created structure, and for category we created instance also. And for category we added segment values. but I written here as a create segment values. Okay, for three key flex field segments, but just we added for only one. Now we are creating the value sets for location. So create, I'll give the name as Fusion country value set name. Just here also I'm giving 30 maximum size. Say save and close. Create one more value set. State. Just give 30. Save and close. Let's create one more value set. Sorry, module assets, character, cancel. Select assets, validation type is independent. Listed value data type is character. Then just so 30 characters. Save and close. Then we created three value sets by using, and we'll go and create location flex field structure with three segments, and we'll be assigning these three value sets to those three segments. Okay, so value sets we created. Now we are going to create location key flex field structure with the three segments. Just click on go to task. Search with the location, then say manage structures. Click on create. Already existing structure we disabled for our testing purpose, right? Fusion location flex field. Oh, it's already saved. Fine. Good, we'll query it then. Just click on search. Same, you can click on edit. Now we'll add the segments. Say country. Display width, I'll take 30. Segment 1. and here select what are the values that we created. So we given Fusion country. So it's not state, to assign the state label. Save and close. Then we'll create one more and say create. Just give me 2 minutes, I'll be back, please. Somebody came here. 1 second. Just give me 2 minutes. Fine, we'll continue. So here next segment is you can give what we given country we completed, right? So state. Sequence is going to be second segment. Give 30 because value set creation time we given 30. Up to that size max we can use as a width. Select column name as a segment 2. Supervision state. Okay, we know like for the segment state we can assign this label to track the property tags, state level and all. That purpose we may assign this and say save and close. And let's create one more segment called as city. Display with 30. Third segment. Visual city. Value set name. Then say save and close. Done. Now we created structure. Now we have to create the structure instance. So I'll say save and close. Create instance against the structure. I'll give the name as Fusion location. Fusion location flex field. You can just set as required. And save and close. We know once we're done with that, we have to deploy. In the same way, category flex field also we have to deploy. Just see this one. This one you can deploy. Say deploy flex field so that the status will get changed. So since we don't have many structures, it's deployed without taking much time. In the same way for earlier whatever we created category, that also you can submit for deployment. I think we didn't deploy that. Yep. So category structure also if you can deploy. Okay, done. instance also we complete and we deployed. Now we'll create the segment values for these three segments: country, state, and the city. So in case of EBS, at least there is no option to define all these, just at least for our testing purpose. But in Fusion we can see that. But finally you can use only one. Okay, that already selected, the same you have to proceed. Whatever we are creating we cannot use, just for our understanding how to define and all we are creating it. That's all. We'll go and create the values for these three segments which are part of location key flex field. Fusion country. Go to manage values. Then create one there. Give the value as United States. Okay, then say save and close. Just one value is enough. We are not going to do anything with this information. We cannot use it. So say save and close. And we'll go with another value set. We have something like state. We call manage values. Just create any one of the state. Say Texas. Save and close. Let's add one value for cities. Manage values. What we can take here, you can take Dallas. You may give as a description. So 7 plus. Done. So we created value sets, we created structure, and we created instance, we deployed, and we added values. Done. Now only that other third flex field which we have is asset key. Asset key also, let's go and create one or two value sets. We'll create one value set, and we'll create the structure instance, and we'll deploy, and we'll add one or two values so that we can understand how these setups need to be done. So save and close. So create value sets. I want to give the value set name as Fusion Asset Key. Set 30 issues. Value set we created. Now we'll go and create the structure. Click on go to task. Search for flex field name, location, then click on manage structures, then click on search. The predefined one you can see here. Vision location flex field created. Okay, it's there as we created. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just, we have to create asset key, right? I'm sorry, I was searching for location. It should be asset key. So asset key flex field. Then go to manage structures and click on search. The predefined one you can see. So if this is a enabled mode, you cannot create one more, at least for testing. So I'll just go on to disable it. But before you start with using this, we have to enable all this, otherwise it won't work. Right? You know that. Just now we'll go and create our own structure. Fusion location. Sorry. Asset key flex field. So delimiter here, delimiter. Just we are going to create one segment only, but no issues. Let's do it. And say create. Also segment name is asset key. Sequence is going to be one. No prompt asset key. Display width. Choose 30. Segment 1. Your Fusion asset key value set name. Say 7. Close. Now structure we created, we have to create the instance. Value set we created and structure we created. Now we have to create the instance for asset key. Click on manage structure instances and click on create. So I'll give the name as Fusion asset key. Only one segment we created, the same we can set as a required. Now we should deploy it, right? Then click on done. We'll go and add the value for this. So it's not this one. Just click on done. Go to value sets task to add at least one value to this asset key. Value set Fusion asset key. Go to manage values. You can have what tagging you want to have for your assets to track separately, other than tracking of location based and category based or some other criteria which we follow to track the assets. For additional tracking, you can just use some value. I'll say imported furniture. This is one of the asset key I want to keep, so that if I have some imported furniture and all, I'll be tagging this. Anytime if I want to track that separately, I can do that. That's all. So this is in the fresh environment. This is how we have to set up. But just for sample, I entered just one or two values, but normally we'll be having entering many values. We know that. So we're done with all the setups now. This also for three segments, three key flex field related segments. We created value sets also done. Now next setup is configure system controls. We have to configure the system controls. All tasks you can see in the sequence only. Here we're done with value sets and flex field. Now next step is manage system controls. Go to manage system controls. We know this is a one-time setup. Okay, in this environment already done. Once you're done with this, system will freeze it. You cannot undo this. The Oracle, they created category flex field as a category, but we created as a fusion category, fusion location, fusion asset key, but those we cannot replace here. One-time setup. So these are selected here. That means we have to make sure that these only active. But for just for our testing purpose, before we go and create our own structures, we disabled existing structures. But since those are selected here, those should be active. And if something one structure is going to be active, other structure should be inactive. So for that reason, what we'll do is anyway we completed the setup how to do it, and we understand how that works. Now we can go on to sorry. So we'll go on to disable whatever we created, so that whatever selected here, those will be functioning. Okay. Otherwise, that will create issue. Sorry. Go to flex fields. Say category. Then click on search. And to go to manage structures and search for what are the structures are available. So our structure is enabled mode, so that you can go and disable. The reason this we cannot use. Okay, whatever we can use, only this reason. The system controls already that is selected, that should be enabled mode. So just click on edit and to disable us. Anyway, our testing part is over, so it's not required for us. Make sure that this is enabled. So say save and close. Since we did these changes, it's recommended to deploy once again. So now here you can see deployment is incomplete. So now go for other flex field, say that is a location. Go to manage structures, click on search. You can see all the structures within the location key flex field, location flex field, and they can disable whatever we created for testing. That's all. This way how to enable. And again, this also we have to deploy. The set key. Go to manage structures. Enable it. Just deploy. Okay, done. So deployment is completed. Now, once that is ready, normally the first time when you do the setups in the any instance, so we'll be giving the enterprise name. And again, already Vision Corporation. If you want to change, you can change. You may give as a Fusion Corporation. So this name will be printed on the reports, and the oldest date asset placed in service you can provide here. Very oldest asset what we have in the organization, and what are the category flexible. These are instances. Whatever already Oracle created, those we could see there instances. But when we are working, we will create our own. Just now, however we created, the same will be selecting. But here we don't have any scope of selection, and you can give starting asset number and all, and it will start running the same sequence whatever the asset you create anywhere, okay, within the instance, enterprise or whatever. Sorry, there was seriously, there is a network issue. I'm sorry, there was some network issue, so it got disconnected. Fine. So these are the system managed system controls here. The first time, when we do first time setup in the environment, you can give the name and you can give the oldest date asset placed in service, and the three key flex field structure instances we can select here, and we can specify the asset number from where system has to start running the numbering for the asset. So save and close. So also be done. Now we'll go and create the physical year calendar. Okay, all you can see here in sequence only. So manage physical years. Let's go and create physical year. Okay, before that, to understand these three key flex fields we have, we know the purpose point of view. With the category key flex field, you can all the assets classification you can maintain as a different category, so that when you're creating asset, you can track that asset into a specific category. Category wise, you can set depreciation, and many other controls will be setting at category level. When you talk about location key flex field, so where you are going to have assets, all the physical locations you can maintain the system, so that instead of creating the same location again and again in the system, the predefined value you can select for assets. That's how you can track assets location wise. And asset key also some additional tracking purpose apart from category location and other parameters. Apart from that criteria, where the additional criteria you can use as a asset category key flex field. That is a purpose, we know that. So when you talk about these three, out of three, these two are mandatory in the transaction process, asset creation process. Asset key is optional, but at least to complete this system controls configuration, it's a mandatory. At least, so for a configuration point of view, mandatory, but business point of view, it's may not be mandatory as per the client business. In that case, you at least you can create one dummy structure that you can use at the time of system configure controls definition time. That's it. So physical year calendar. Let's go and create it. So there is a navigation, then click on create. Give the name as Fusion physical year. Just save up to here. Click on add. See, it's all about physical year is nothing but year ranges. Okay, uh, the years will be giving in which years we have assets which are exist in the organization. Say now we are running the business, we may have assets from last 2010, for example. Then we will be creating the physical years from 2010, since we have to manage the asset information within the year ranges. So by following these physical years only, we'll be creating the depreciation calendar to specify the periods, how often you want to do the depreciation. So here I'll give the physical year. I want to create this year. So from 2000, I'll go with the 2015 so that it will be easy for us to add the periods also. What is start date and date for this? John 1st 15. This is the start date for this, and the end date is John 31st 15. Just save it. After saving this record, just click on add row. Just click on add row. This is how you can add years automatically. In case of EBS, we'll save one record and we'll use the down arrow, it will auto create. But here you have to hit this add new row icon, the plus icon button. That's it. This is how you can just click on it, will generate the physical years automatically. Done. This is enough. Now we'll go on to create the depreciation calendar by specifying how often you want to calculate the depreciation. So here you can go with the manage asset calendars. Asset calendars or depreciation calendars, both are same. This we done. Now we have to create asset calendar. This you can call as depreciation calendar also. We'll create the asset calendar or say depreciation calendar. Just click on go to task. Click on create. Yeah. Yeah, Jay, please.
And the fiscal calendar.
Oh. Tell me, Jay.
When we the fiscal, the from and to dates didn't change for year 16 onwards. That we need to change, right?
Sorry. No. For every year, see, I given like 2015. It starts with the first and it ends with when 31st. I mean December.
Yeah, ends with
every year same, right? No.
2000.
No. Listen. For every year, that is starting date and ending date, right? Year will be changed. Every year starts with the 1st Jan only, ends with 31st December only. That is the logic it is taking.
It didn't change actually.
It didn't change. We'll go and see that.
So yeah, it should be for 2016. It should be.
No, we'll go and see.
I
think that's when you gave the end date as January. That's why it should have been December.
Oh, okay. I given okay. Fine. Year end date we have to give. Year end I have to give. I think by mistake I given that. Year end, that is a year start and year end, as we just now discussed. Maybe that's my mistake. I'm sorry for that. We'll go on to create one more. No issues. I might have given the period range. Date range. Okay. Fine. No issues. We'll just create another one. I'll do is. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks for this information. The mistake I did. It is. If you proceed based on that, again, rest of setups also flow into run. Fine, good. So here 2015 and year start date John 1st 15. When this year ends, December means 12th. Yeah, I think earlier I given 31st, I guess. and 31st 15. This is how we have to give. Save it. The format is month, date and year. That is the reason I given date, month here, 1st Jan, and year 30 December. Then click on add.
Yeah, now it's correct.
Yeah, no, that's by mistake I given. I am sorry for that. At the same time, thank you. Sorry. So done. We created a physical year. Now we'll go and create the depreciation calendar. It's not take more than those characters. Fusion depreciation calendar. And physical year, just select whatever we created as new, because this we by mistake we given the wrong specification. So fusion new physical years per, sorry, periods per year. So 12, we know we never take any adjusting periods for this. Let's keep period prefix as a period suffix as physical, so that it will default automatically. And here click on add period name. It's very important. We have to make sure that this period name is matching with accounting calendar period name. So how system is creating it, first character it will give uppercase, and this is a format we can see in our accounting calendar. I'll create from 15 to 15. So this is the exact date period name which we have in our accounting calendar. Before we go and create, better you can go and check with our accounting calendar, but we are very sure this is how system will generate. So we are not writing through manual process, so I'm taking directly. This period start and end date. John 1st 15, when this period ends. John 31st 15. Okay, for this period start date and end date. Then save it. Then click on add. Just give the period name, rest it will take. Feb. Then click on again add. March, click on add. Again click on add. For 1 year, this is how we have to provide, the rest it will take automatically. May, June, July, August, September, October, and November, December. From here it will auto generate. So you can keep hitting on this add row icon. We'll create periods up to 2017 December. So done enough. Okay, then say save and close. Click on that. We complete this setup and define prorate convention. We know like how the depreciation need to be calculated in the first and last bit of asset when you place asset in the service and when you retire asset from service. In these two cases, how it should be calculated, that we can set up by using the prorate convention. Let's go and define it. So manage prorate conventions. You can just you can define how you require. Maybe it has to start from mid month or following month or next month or from same day. Okay, you can create as per a requirement. Here for testing I'll create fusion full month. It's not taking more than that. Full, that means anytime you place asset or a retire asset from service, it has to calculate depreciation for entire month. Difference data set I'm going to take as a common set here. Common set. Select physical year. This is the one which we created. Fusion new physical years. So we'll go with the prorate dates as a full month. So in that case, if you place asset or if you retire asset between the date of 1st Jan 1st 15 to Jan 31st 15, the prorate means the depreciation calculation date system has to consider from first only, Jan 1st 15. That means it has to start the depreciation from beginning. In case of you want to go with the daily, in that case how that presentation will be giving here. Okay, Jan 1st 15 here, Jan 1st 15. Okay, then Jan 2nd 15, Jan 2nd 15 here. Prorate date also will be same. That's how we'll be creating, the same how you do in Artwell in the same process. Okay, then I'm going to save it. I'll just hit this.
One question.
Yeah, please.
Are there any significant values that are like defined at the common
Sorry?
reference data set? At the reference data set level, are there any significant values defined for assets?
See, in the fresh environment, you will have only two reference data sets by default. As per your requirement, you can create. If you want to maintain separate reference data set, you can do that. So that asset related all setups you may track into that. The significant means what exactly?
My question was, are there any values that are related to fixed assets on the common reference data set definition?
No, you know what is the purpose of reference data set, right?
Yeah. But here, fixed assets is not by.
No, see, what is the way now? Like, if you don't mind, just I want to understand from you what is the use of reference data set, so that I can answer you in the better way. If I can understand, what is your understanding?
To have common value. Yeah, common values for our business unit.
Yeah, not only for business unit. I just since we were working on payables, I just we might have discussed as a business unit. It's not only for business unit. Anything, any module related data you want to group.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all about to group the setup data. Simple point. Okay, to group the setup data, we can use the reference data sets. Accordingly, you can set the restrictions. This data can be accessed by other enterprises or not, or other business units or not. Okay, it's all about just for grouping purpose. Okay, you can group, and if you want to give the privileges, you can give it. See, this common set we are using everywhere. That means it's not specific for some module. You may create module specific also, no objection over there. You may create module specific and accordingly you can manage, but common set is the one which is a default and which can be used everywhere to track the any setup data. Okay, How it works for payables, receivables, same way it works for fixed assets also. And this you can common set or any reference data set, you can use books level also. Books related information, all the levels. Just grouping. This setup I am grouping. Yeah, this setup I am taking into this common set. That's it. Who has access to this common set, they can see this prorate convention. That's all. Okay. The definition remains same. It's all about grouping, irrespective of which module and all. If you want to group any module related data, you may have similar to common set. You may go and give the name all setups. You may give reference data set name that you can use everywhere, or else you can use the common set where you can find all the data related to any module. But it won't be good practice if you are going to create for prorate convention one reference data set, for other category related definition time another reference data set, books another reference data set. It won't be the good practice. You can use one. Okay, you can use one, and setup data will be this kind of setup data can be shared across. But anyway, when we are giving access to the users, we'll be setting the restrictions as per the role. We'll be giving the provision. Normally when we are doing setups and all, always we'll use the common data only. That will help us to simplify our setup process. And after once we're done with implementation, accordingly we'll give the privileges to the users. So when you do implementation also, I just recommend use common set only. No need to go with something else. But in case of customers, we know it's a mandatory. We have to create reference data set for customer sites. Okay. So November, December, done. So our depreciation calendar also we created up to December only. And also up to December 2017, I created a prorate convention. Done. Just make sure that at least you are creating prorate convention till current date, current period. Otherwise it won't work. We know that. So that's all about prorate convention. Again, separate prorate calendar we no need to create. Let's use a depreciation calendar only, prorate calendar, because here the prorate convention we selected full month. With the full month we have depreciation calendar. The same we can use. If you are going to specify daily base and all, in that case we may create separate one, or else if you are going with a mid month and all, in that case you can create the prorate calendar, but that's not required. Let's use the same depreciation calendar as a prorate calendar. Okay. Now the task is we have to create the asset book. Okay, when these setups will do tomorrow, it's going to be 9 now. Okay, these setups will do in tomorrow session. Okay, we will just complete asset book definition, and tax book we'll see a bit later once we start working on assets and all asset book related process. In between, when we are working on mass copy functionality, we'll create and I'll do that. After that we'll create asset categories and template role assignments done. Then we'll go through all this concept what we have as a CFA related functions, features. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any questions, just you can ask me. This is completely same configuration what we do in EBS, the same setup. So no additional setups or no changes when we are doing the respective setups also in the Fusion. They're given as is. Even that key flex field logic also remains same. Only one instance, one category, one location, one asset key, but only the flexibilities. You can create multiple category location asset keys, but usage would be one. This option may be helpful for us for our practice, not for business at all. Okay. Fine. If no questions, we can wind up the session for today. In tomorrow's session, we'll continue from here. We'll complete the remaining few setups, then we'll start working on the process. Okay, hardly it may just 2 more sessions we can complete the fixed assets. We don't have too much within this. It's a simple module, we know. So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we can complete FA.
Satya, I have one question on the expense side. So in
Sorry?
the 11 and odd told they used to in the expense management, I have a question. So in the 11i and R12, we used to have a delegation, vacation rule.
Yeah. We here
kind
also
of,
we have. Here also we have.
advanced.
If you want to see that, I'll show you. I'll show you that.
Okay. Where do you do it? I just.
Yeah. I'll show you that.
Okay.
So once you take this task, it will take you to the BPM. In the BPM level, here see user we have. Click on this user. Okay, and go to home. Okay, if you want to set those, you can go with the preferences. Normally, if you have some BPM related issues and all, you can go to home, and here you can find out the errors and all. Errors or any issues. This will my tasks and all. Everything will be getting here. Views and all. Everything you can get. But now you want to understand how to set those preferences that you can set from here. Go to preferences. There you can set it up here. Enable vacation period and reassign or delegate to whom you have to delegate. You want to give the permissions, you can do from here. The other option I'll show you from here, delegation you can do from here also when you are working on expenses. If you go to expense, from where you are getting expense report, from there also you have the delegations. You can go to this task panel. You can create your the bank account details for your employee, and you can set you can manage the delegates here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here you can create and you can do everything. You want to delegate to whom? Okay. Sorry, this is how you can do that if you want. Right?
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions?
One general question, Lakshman.
Yeah, please.
Just curiosity.
No, yeah.
Do you prepare for every class, or you got used to
Sorry.
each and every session? Do you prepare for each class, or you got used to each of the sessions? Because like you have a planned class always.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't get you really.
No, just I'm asking, like, do you prepare before every
No.
class, or you got used to-
No. See, this I'm into this from last 13 years. See, I've been working on 11i and R12. It's not going to be new for me. Maybe first time when I was started with the Fusion instance, yes, that time just I have to look into what setups and all. Now just multiple batches I completed. Okay, so I no need to go and refer something, and straight away I'm taking. But since we changed the instance, sometimes these approvals I was checking. Only approvals I used to check whether that approvals are working in this new instance or not. That's what I did in case of expense. Otherwise, I no need to plan and I no need to get ready for the session what I'm going to cover. Okay, just I'll open this Excel and I'll be running that what is in the sequence and all. That's it. Because see, day by day, Oracle is not going to change all these things, right? So these are fixed.
Process is same. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason. Just I don't go with that kind of preparation. Maybe in the very beginning, I might have done that.
Yeah. It's good, Lakshman, like, because we've been like getting good confidence because you're like having a continuous flow without any interruption.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your support.
Yeah. Thank you, Venkat. And I'll try to add few more concepts. How to just I didn't include in the course content, but I'll try to add few more things. Okay, like how to set up this what we can say proxy user. How to set up the proxy user behalf of another user who can go. I mean, how we can set proxies. The proxy means behalf of one other can go on to take that action on respective job work. And we have a concept called as infolets. Okay, infolets, these also will come into infolets and all, but to give you the more information, I'll show you here. This basically, these we call as infolets. These all we call as infolets. is all we call. We can set as per our requirement also in Fullets. These also you can set. If something else is there, I'll be adding in this. Okay, but that is you don't find in my course content which I shared. Okay, the proxy and this infolets. If something else is there before we complete the course, so I'll be adding those. Anything else we have? We'll see if something is there. I'll be sharing. Okay, any questions, please?
Lakshman, this is Venkat Lakshman.
Yeah, Venkat, please.
Yeah. In expense report, we fixed only one GL account code, right, for each expenses.
One expense item we given one GL account. Yes, you're right.
Is there any possibility to make it separate either in the segment level or the full combination, accounting combination for each element wise separate account?
That's what it happening, right? See, simple point. I'm going to create expense report. Okay, I'll give food expense. I'll give airfare. I'll just give taxi. Okay, these three where we are creating, when we are creating the expense report template, we are creating. For food, I am giving food expense account. For airfare, I am giving taxi. I am giving separate. In EBS also we do the same, right? So whenever I am creating expense report, I'll select food. I'll select these three. Take this example. I'll select these three in the expense report as the three items. So whenever I create invoice, this system will create the distribution with the three accounts: food expense account, airfare account, airfare expense account, taxi expense account. Three will get debited. Liability account system will be taken from where? In system options, expenses system options. If you specify some liability account, that it will take, otherwise it will be taken from your common options for payables and procurement. Whatever the accounts payable liability account you have, that account it will take. How it works in EBS, same. There is no change in that. That's it. So if you have still some anything, just you can ask.
Thanks Lakshman. My doubt is either the same concept is there or not.
Same it should be, right, Venkat? It should be, otherwise. Yep, same. Okay. It's same. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Any other questions? Okay. Fine. Seems to no questions. Fine. If no questions, we can just wind up the session for today. We'll connect tomorrow same time. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day and good night. See you tomorrow.